Welcome to calculating the weekly gross pay part 2. And so in the first video, I've calculated for Shelley Brothers, Don Belden, and Alex Donaldson. So in part 2 here, we're going to go ahead and calculate information for Jason and for Sam. So I'm just going to go right over here so we don't have to scroll anywhere. Jason Kindler. Okay, so his overtime rate would be calculated by taking his regular hours pay of $11 per hour, and he worked 45 hours for that week. So we're going to take $11, we're going to multiply by 1.5. So his overtime rate is going to be 11 times 1.5. for a total of $16.50 for his OT rate or overtime rate. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and lay out the formula for calculating his regular pay first. He gets paid $11 an hour and worked for 45 hours that week. So I'm going to go ahead and take his regular earnings first, multiply by the regular hours first. Which equals $440 for his regular pay. His overtime pay, then I'm going to take his overtime rate of $16.50 times the 5 hours overtime because he worked 45 hours. Well, we've already calculated 40 hours as the regular rates or regular pay period and regular hours. And the extra 5 hours will be his overtime rate or overtime hours multiplied by the $16.50 for a total overtime earnings of $82.50. So with these two calculations of regular pay and overtime pay, his gross pay equals $522.50 for this week. All right. Let's go ahead and look at Sam Wilder. Okay. For Sam, he earns $19.35 an hour and worked 53 hours during that week. So let's go ahead and calculate his overtime rate. The overtime rate would be the $19.35 times 1.5. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take $19.35 times 1.5 for an overtime rate or OT rate of $29.03. His regular pay of the 40 hours will consist of taking $19.35 times the regular 40 hours of $774 for his regular pay. His overtime pay will consist of taking his overtime rate of $29.03 times the 13 hours of overtime. Okay, so basically I just took 53 hours, subtract the 40 hours, and I'm left with 13 hours of overtime. I'm going to take $29.03 times 13 hours of overtime for a total of $377.39. So my total gross pay for Sam Wilder for this week is $1,151.39. Okay, so that's how you calculate weekly gross pay involving overtime earnings. I hope you enjoyed these two videos. So this last one that concludes our video demonstration for calculating weekly gross pay.